What is up, guys? Big49 here. We are back on the Desolation map. And oh man, does it seem like a grind or does it seem like a grind? I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you guys. This thing is taking so long. But we're back in Chinatown doing what I gotta do to survive out here. And what I gotta do to survive is build. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm gonna do today. I'm going to be building Chinatown. What am I going to do? I'm going to do some interior work, of course, because that's basically all I have left to do in Chinatown. Well, no, that's not true at all. I have to do the streets. I got to do the underground area, but I do want to finish this building, and that's pretty much going to be it for the buildings in Chinatown, the exterior buildings. So I'm excited. Are you guys excited? We're getting closer and closer. I can't wait to finish this. I want to make like a Chinatown video for... just to show it off, really, because I'm so proud of Chinatown. This is one of my prouder accomplishments in the city of Coveton, in the Desolation map, just because it's so different, right? It's unique, it's different, and it's got a style and a vibe and an energy all its own. So definitely excited for finishing this. So that's what I'm going to do today. And one thing I want to say before I get into what I want to talk about today is I have finished, or IGL Zenix and I have finished our series, our first episode, or I guess our first season, I don't know what you would call it, of Desolation Battlegrounds. And oh man, that was a lot of fun. I want to give a shout out to IGL Zenix for participating in that. And now that the series is done, I've created a playlist where you can watch them all and see the story unfold before your eyes. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. I know a lot of people were talking about they wanted to bring back Desolation survival stories, right? They like the role play, so that's what we tried to do with this, and give it a little, variety on this channel, give it a little role play action. So I would appreciate if you go check that out if you haven't seen it already. There's 5 episodes, so and they're fun. They were fun to edit, they're fun to play, they're fun to watch. I really enjoyed it, so I hope you guys will too. Anyway, today's Monday, and you guys know what Monday means. It's Creative Question of the Week time, the part of the series where I answer questions from you, the community, and we get deep. We dive deep into these issues. And what happened last week, guys? I only had one question. So it kind of left me a little bit hogtied. I'm a little bit hogtied on what I can answer. So we're going to answer that question. So I want to thank you to the person who asked it. But what happened, guys? I thought you guys wanted variety, right? This is a question that I've kind of talked about before. And so I was really hesitant to do it. But, I thought about it. And, I think my opinions have changed a little bit since the last time I talked about this. Also, we've got some new subscribers and new viewers. And it was a long time ago that I talked about this. So I thought I'd do it again. And plus, it was the only question. So this week's... before I say that, I'm all flabbergasted. Ask a question in the comment section below. We need your questions for this series to move forward, guys. If you don't ask questions, how can I answer? So if you want to continue to see these videos, you're going to have to participate in some way, okay? And the questions can be about anything. They don't have to be deeply philosophical. They don't have to be, they could be anything. As long as they're creative, as long as it's not get your gamer tag. You know what I mean? All right, so this week's creative question of the week comes from Paper and Grass. And Paper and Grass asks, I do not support any religion and do not hate any religion. I'm curious if you support any religion or don't support any. All right, thank you, Paper and Grass. That is a great question. And yes, like I said, I've talked about this before, but we're going to get into it now that my views have changed and now that we have new subscribers. So the first thing I want to say before I dive any further into this is that these are my opinions, guys. This is what I feel. This is what I think. And I wholeheartedly respect your opinion, okay? And that's kind of what this Creative Questions series is about. It's about, respecting each other's opinions. Yes, I understand that not everyone agrees with me, but I really do appreciate you guys at least listening and hearing what I have to say. And as always, if you want to start a discussion about anything that I talk about in these videos, I would, start it in the comment section and let's get a discourse going. I really appreciate that if you guys want to do that because, not only are you and I discussing, but the other people can join in the discussion. And other people can see the discussion, and you're affecting other people by what you're saying. So that's a great thing, I feel like. So yes, I'm not trying to offend anyone. If you have a different opinion than me, that is perfectly fine. I respect it. And I don't look down on you for having a different opinion. It's, we're all different people. We come from different walks of life and different situations. And to try to judge another person because they're not like you is that's just ignorant, is really all it is. It's ignorant because, we're all different. But let me share my opinion and then we'll go from there. And the last time I talked about this, I was very adamant that religion is kind of an evil thing. Not evil, but it's definitely a very negative thing. And that's not exactly true. There's positives and negatives to everything in this universe. Everything is neutral. I've talked about that in the past. Everything in this universe is neutral, and what makes it positive or negative is the way you perceive it. So I was being a little bit hard on religion in the past, and I've come to realize there are some benefits to religion. It engenders a sense of community. It gives people who are needing a purpose. And, a lot of the tenets of most religions are, usually pretty positive. Respect each other, love each other, help each other. I mean, these are all things that we can get behind. But, and this is a big but, there are some negatives to religion. And it's not what you think. And I've said this many times. I don't know if I've said this on this channel. I may have. But whenever I get into a religious discussion with people, this is the thing that I tell them. And it's something I wholeheartedly believe at the bottom of my heart, is that religion puts people on the right path, but in the wrong direction. What I mean by that is that religion, almost every single religion that I've ever heard of, encourages you to accept that there is a higher power than you. And one thing that I've come to realize through my experiences, through my travels, through my adventures, is that everything in this universe is equal. Everything. There is no thing that is better than any other thing. There's no... This is why I don't like religion, guys, because it encourages you to give up your power to some higher authority. And I don't just mean the clergy. I don't just mean the priests or the rabbis or the ministers. I mean, you're giving up your power to Jesus Christ or Buddha or, Ganesh. You're giving up your power to something that is not better than you. That's the most simplest way that I can try to explain it. I don't really know how else to explain it. Again, through my travels, one thing that I've realized is that we're each... Let me explain, before I say that, let me explain what I believe, and maybe that'll help you understand. I believe that all things in this universe come from one central location. I like to call it source energy. And this is the, if you want to think of it as in terms of the Big Bang, basically a ball of energy that started it all. And this ball of energy didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to create humans. I'm going to create, whatever." It didn't. It's not like a God in the way that Christianity preaches it. Basically, we are all extensions of it. The lizards, the people, the monkeys, the cats, the dogs, the tablecloths, right? The hats, the shoes. We're all aspects of this central energy. And this central energy vibrates at the frequency of love. It's just pure love. And all existence is the expansion of this energy with the intention of learning more about itself. And the best way for something to learn about itself is to create duality, to create separation. Right? If you're this one thing and you want to learn more about yourself, the best way to do it is to create a whole bunch of different aspects of yourself so that, their differences can teach you. That's the best way to learn about, a different thing is to find out the differences. So Source basically has created all these different iterations of itself so that it can learn about itself. And that's what we're here doing. That's what all of us are here doing. And we have this illusion of separation, this illusion that we're all different, but it's just illusion. When it comes down to the reality of it, we're all source energy. We're not created by source energy. We are source energy. And so you are God. Jesus Christ is God, but you are equally God, because we're all the same source. So that's what I believe. And that's basically sort of what religion teaches, except that there's a higher power and it created you, and you must grovel, you must bow down, you must accept that you are powerless compared to it. And what better way to control a population than to convince it that it's not God, to convince it to give up its power, to convince it that, we are in control here, right? You want to talk to this higher power, you got to come to this building, you got to put your money in the basket, and then I'll talk to him for you, and I'll tell you what he's got to say. Sure, you can pray to him, but he's not going to listen to you. He listens to me, right? Because I'm touched by him, right? You know what? How ridiculous is that? We're living in caveman days. This is a system of control. This is a system of keeping the masses from discovering the truth about themselves. If the masses discovered the truth about themselves, that they are creator gods, then there'd be nothing. Their governments would crumble, and corporations would crumble, and the status quo would change significantly for the better, for the drastically better. We'd understand that hurting another person means hurting ourselves. There'd be no more war. There'd be no more violence. Food would be distributed evenly. Resources would be distributed evenly. Once people finally realize that we are all the same thing, right? We're all one, and we're in this together, and we're supposed to be helping each other because we're helping ourselves. When you help another, you help yourself. You're helping a different aspect of you. And of course, the status quo doesn't want that. So a long time ago, they created a religion. A long time ago. And, if you look at most major religions, there's really no evidence to support anything that they're saying. It's just interpretations of a book that anyone could have written thousands of years ago, whether it's the Quran or the Bible or the, what's the Jewish book? Now I've forgotten. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. So these are just, who knows who wrote these books or why there's so many different interpretations. It's because there are different ways to control people. That's all it is. And so when you think about religion, if you are a religious person, okay, if you are religious, I want to ask you a very simple question. Is there anything... Well, how do I phrase this? Hold on. Give me a moment to think about how I'm going to phrase this question. How about this? Okay. Is everything you know about your religion told to you by someone else? Is there anything about your religion that you've discovered to be true for yourself without having to be told something by someone else? I think that is the big question when it comes to religion. Because it's basically, verbal history, I guess you would call it, is people believing things just because they've been told. Yes, maybe you've witnessed an act of God, but how do you know you didn't create that act? Through your thoughts, through your feelings, through your actions. And yes, there are deeds. Yes, Buddha exists. Yes, Christ exists. Yes, Ganesh and Krishna, they all exist. And so that's where, religion kind of uses them. It uses them to manipulate and to control. Jesus Christ, Buddha, they want you to realize your power. That was the message of Christ, was for you to wake up and realize your own power. You can turn water into wine. You can create fish from nothing. If you just realize how powerful you are, if you stop giving up your power to outside forces, to other people, to gods, to myself, Jesus would have cried if he had seen what has happened in his name. He would cry at the thought of Christianity. Not cry, but he'd be very upset. Okay, he'd be very upset about what's happened in his name. Is millions of people giving up their power to the Pope, to the priests, to the institution, so that they can diddle little boys. It's sad. It really is. So it's all about, waking up a little bit. It's about asking questions. Is there anything in my religion that hasn't been told to me by another person? Guys, when other people tell you things, the element of deception has entered. Okay? Figure things out for yourself. Everything I've said about my belief system are things that I've figured out for myself. And of course, I have a story to pass about how I figured these things out. It's through meditation. It's through opening up to my power. It's about accepting my abilities. It's about accepting everything as being equal. Once you accept that, mysteries start unfolding. Okay? Mysteries start unfolding. So ask questions. Be vigilant. Ask questions constantly. And if you can't get answers from other people, something is probably wrong. All right, that's the creative question of the week this week. I want to thank Paper and Grass. I love your username for that great question. Guys, again, I need you guys to ask questions. If you're sick and tired of talking about spirituality or religion or government or whatever, then it's up to you to ask a question. Okay, ask any question you want. I don't care what it's about. We'll find an answer to it. Alright guys, so that's going to be this week's creative question of the week. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Go check out Desolation Battlegrounds if you haven't seen it already. Also go check it out on IGL Zenix's channel, his perspective. And yeah, so thanks for your likes, thanks for your comments, shares, and subscribes. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy Minecrafting. Peace.